Hello, everybody. My name is Roy Nemer of Wrestleview.com. I'm your SmackDown recapper. This is another post show. It's been so long. How's everybody doing? Great to be back. Honestly, it's been too long. I see a couple of people in the chat already. I see Gil's fan. I see Andrew. I see Daniel. I see Quentin. I see Corey. A lot of people in the chat. Thank you everybody for joining me. Daniel, yeah, there you go, Daniel. Yo, what the beep? Honestly, I should have just put Eric Bischoff's theme song, the I'm Back, but copyright reasons, probably not allowed to put that. Yeah, so welcome everybody to the SmackDown Post Show. My name is Roy Nemer. First post show in a while. It's the first SmackDown after day one. First SmackDown of the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you were all safe. I hope everybody had a great Christmas, a great New Year. Good to be back. Andrew, welcome back. There you go. All right. The tribal chief acknowledged me, right? It's kind of the ongoing joke. But there you go. And yeah, Daniel, that would have been great to have Eric Bischoff's song. Unfortunately, like I said, don't really want to get banned, copyright reasons. We're not doing it. Maybe next time. I'm back. Absolutely, Quentin. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Great to be back. And yeah, Gil's fan, yeah, if Pat McAfee was in the chat, he'd be dancing on the table as well for my return. But you know what? He's not. He's not. But you guys are. And that's all that matters. That's truly all that matters. Mashoon, Happy New Year, buddy. Great to be back. Like I said, it's been too long, and we're gonna make this a weekly thing from now on. I think we're gonna go with that. I really think we're gonna go with that. I said it's been too long. It has. The only thing that so Daniel, is this permanent? Yeah, I'll say it is. I'll say it is. We're working on a lot of stuff here on Wrestleview. Expect a lot of changes, a lot of cool stuff coming around in the next couple of days, weeks, months. So yes, this will we are keeping this. We are keeping this. Like I said, it's been a while. One thing that hasn't changed since the last time we did this show was Roman Reigns. He's still the champ. He's still the Universal Champion, and he kicked off the show. We have a sex machine in here. What's up, sex machine? How are you, buddy? Hope you're good. And there you go. Yeah. So going to have to bring on guests in the future. Oh, I will. I will. I know I've said that in the past. Sorry, I know I've said that in the past, Andrew. But we're gonna be doing it. We're gonna be doing it. I promise you. And that's a Roy Nemer promise. That's a Roy Nemer promise. And yeah. So like I said, the one thing that hasn't changed since the last time we did this show was or is the Universal Champion Roman Reigns. He kicked off SmackDown. Let's get to it. Let's get to SmackDown. Here we go. So we were live tonight from the Mohegan Sun Arena, and commentary, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. And here we go. So we had Roman Reigns that kicked off the show. You know, he tells New England to acknowledge him, and he asks, you know, where do I begin? He says he missed 1 week and everything kind of fell apart. And when you're in isolation, you do a lot of thinking. And there's a lot of things that he wanted to say. There were a lot of people that he wanted to see. But there were two people there are two people that he doesn't want to see for the rest of his life. And those two people are Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Hello, Jason. We have Jason Michael in the chat as well. And what's up, buddy? Hope you're good. So Roman says, Heyman, Lesnar, the two people he doesn't want to see for the rest of his life. So of course, what happens? Brock Lesnar's music hits. Out comes the new champ with his advocate, Paul Heyman. And I gotta say, this was a fun little segment. This was a fun little way to kick off the show. These guys. And we've done this in the past, right? We've gotten Roman versus Lesnar in the past with Heyman involved. But no matter how many times we've gotten this, no matter how many times we see this, be it on Raw or SmackDown or a pay-per-view, these guys just click and it goes so well. It really, they mesh well together. And this was a fun segment to kick off the show. Brock Lesnar. And let me know what you guys think in the chat. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. But for me, it looks as if Brock Lesnar is very much enjoying himself. Ever since he came back, especially since he won the title, he's interacting with fans. He's smiling. He's taking pictures. Before winning the title, we saw that this is a Lesnar that's getting on the mic, that's gonna talk a lot. Sorry, I really gotta fix this here. There you go. I don't know what happened there. So, yeah. So this has been a new Lesnar, right? A completely new Lesnar. Sorry. And it's been a fun Lesnar, right? We saw this years ago, when Lesnar was having his feud with Kurt Angle, right back WrestleMania 19, I believe. And then with Eddie Guerrero, Lesnar knows how to talk. Lesnar is not that bad on the mic, and we've seen funny Brock Lesnar before. And we're kind of in that now, right? We're getting kind of like a funny Brock Lesnar. Tonight, he mimics Paul Heyman. Heyman's about to kick off the show, ladies and gentlemen, and then Lesnar grabs the mic from Heyman, tells him, "No, I got this," and then he mimics Heyman and he tells Roman to acknowledge him. Lesnar has the look, right? Lesnar looks like $1 million, and right now he's talking like $1 million. And enough talking from me. Let's get to the comments. Let's see what's going on. Exactly, Daniel. So we've done Roman versus Brock, but never really like this. We haven't done it like this, not at all. Andrew writes, he's definitely enjoying himself. Babyface Brock is interestingly weird. It is. And it's kind of like it's not supposed to work, but it does. It's like, how can I put this? One of those weird, when you put like two ingredients together, you're making food and you're like, this does not go well together. But then you put them together and you're like, wow, this is not supposed to taste good, but it does. And pardon me, I'm getting off a really bad cold. So if you see me kind of coughing a little bit, it's just that. But yeah, this is a different Brock. This is a different Brock. Gil's fan writes, yeah, Brock is definitely happier. It's quite weird to see. Quentin, yes, Quentin doing my work. Thank you, Quentin. Absolutely. Please like and subscribe and share this video, or else you're going to have to acknowledge the tribal chief of Wrestleview.com, which is me. Head of the table, tribal chief, Roy Nemer. So yeah, please hit the like button if you like what you see, if you enjoy it, and subscribe. We got a lot of stuff going on. And yeah, thank you for that. Daniel, yes, and this is why I think a lot of people are more behind Brock Lesnar this time around, because it doesn't look like Brock's gonna be disappearing for a month or 2 months or 3 months and showing up whenever he wants to. We've gotten Brock 3 times in less than a week this week, right? We got him at day 1, we got him on Raw, and we got him tonight on SmackDown. So Brock's putting in the work. Brock's working. No one can say any single thing about that. And Daniel, yeah, it's a little bit like Orton. Seeing him as a face is a little bit odd, but hey, it's working. Quentin, seeing Heyman as a face is weird. The thing about Heyman, he's been in the game for so long that he could play as a babyface, he could play as a heel, and he declared his undying love to Roman Reigns earlier tonight, which was kind of odd to see, but hey, it worked. Andrew, he might be doing double duty at WrestleMania. Yes, and if you guys missed it, Mike Tedesco, Wrestleview.com's very own Raw recapper, Mike Tedesco kind of spoke about it on the post show. We have a separate video for that on YouTube. Pardon me, on YouTube, on the channel, where he discusses the possibility of Brock Lesnar potentially main eventing both WrestleMania nights. So go check it out. And while you think of that and check it out, I'm just gonna have a glass. I'm gonna have some water. I desperately need some. All right. And Gil's fan writes, yeah, absolutely. So there's a reason why Brock is cutting Paul Heyman off and telling him to shut up. It's a new Brock Lesnar. Apologies. It's a new Brock Lesnar. So let's get back to the results. Getting back to this, so Lesnar comes out, right? He tells Heyman to kind of shut up. And then this is the odd part where Lesnar challenges Roman to a match, title versus title, champ versus champ. And, then Heyman tries to get involved, and Roman tells Lesnar, hey, don't talk to him like that. And then Lesnar gets in Roman's face. And then Heyman tells Brock, hey, don't talk to Roman like that. And he's like, when you were gone, Roman was all I had. And, Roman, I defended you because I loved you. And that got a reaction out of everybody. And that got a reaction certainly out of Lesnar. And, pardon me. And, Lesnar is kind of like, what did you just say? And as Lesnar had his, head kind of turned and he was speaking to Heyman, Roman hits him with a Superman punch. So Roman hits him with the Superman punch. Down goes Lesnar. Roman laughs, leaves the ring pretty arrogantly, confidently. And that was that. That was the opening segment. Let me know, what did everybody think of that opening segment? I quite enjoyed it. Let's take a look at what I wrote anyways on Twitter regarding this. I wrote, Brock Lesnar looks like he's just, and this is a big typo right here. Thank you, Twitter, for not allowing an edit button. But Brock Lesnar looks like he's just having so much fun. That promo with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman was great. And Heyman, I mean, we've said this a bunch of times. Heyman just adds so much to it. Just so much to it. And let's take a look at the chat. What does everybody think? Debbie, welcome, Debbie. Sorry, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Debbie or Devi. I apologize. So they write, Roman Reigns did really get COVID-19. He had leukemia and got and recovered fast, and everything could be a storyline. No, I don't think this was a storyline, to be honest. I don't think the WWE would do a lot of things, and we've seen this in the past, from kicking babies to whatever kind of marriages they have on television to a live sex celebration. They've done a lot of stuff in the past, but talking or faking leukemia or faking COVID, I don't think they would go that far. Andrew, here we go. So seeing Heyman turning on Brock to help Roman, I got that vibe. Andrew. That's the vibe that I got out of that at one point. Daniel writes, fantasy booking, I'd have Brock lose to Lashley at the Rumble opening match, and then have Brock come out and win the Rumble to keep the title on Roman until Mania sets up the match. So I will say this, Daniel, I had the same idea. Buddy. Watching this, I was thinking, okay, who could legitimately win the Rumble, right? And I started thinking, and there's no one. I know they're pushing Austin Theory, but let's be honest, or at least I hope not. We're not going to have Austin Theory win the Rumble. It's not going to be a Dominic Mysterio. It's not going to be a Rey Mysterio. It's not the Street Profits. Definitely not Johnny Knoxville. Seth looks like he's kind of getting the push against Roman. Don't think it's going to be him. I could see Lesnar exactly this. Now, I don't know if Lesnar would lose to Lashley. Maybe have something where it's like a DQ, something happens. So Lesnar doesn't necessarily win, but he doesn't lose. And same thing for Lashley. And then you have Lesnar win the Rumble, which sets up Lesnar against Lashley, night 1 or whatever it is, and Lesnar versus Roman night 2. Just like, as I mentioned earlier, Mike Tedesco alluded to. So we'll see. That's kind of my guess as well. Gills fan, yes, that's true, right? So Roman calls Heyman trash, but then proceeds to tell Lesnar, hey, don't talk to him like that. Gills fan, right? I'd have the Hurt Business help Lashley beat Brock so Brock can challenge Roman, but that won't happen. Yeah, it doesn't look like they even know much about what they're doing with the Hurt Business. It's kind of like they hint that they're getting back together, then they don't, then they hint that they don't. And that's yeah. Daniel, yes, so one of the things WWE has done is flat out been kind of racist. Daniel's words. I'm not saying that. Daniel's words. Yeah, but this is exactly it, Andrews. I mean, if it was a storyline on COVID, it would be a PR nightmare, exactly, to put it the least. Yeah, Gills fan writes, Knoxville's obviously winning the Rumble. Daniel, I have Lesnar versus Roman Universal title. It was scheduled from day one, so this is Daniel's kind of prediction. And Andrew, yes, you did. You mentioned that on the Raw. If I'm not mistaken, it was the Raw post show. You mentioned Austin Theory versus Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. I could see that. I could definitely see Shane wanting a match at WrestleMania, not for the first time, obviously, but we could definitely see that. So that was the opening segment. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. And then we got, I mean, someone mentioned Johnny Knoxville in the chat. This is what we got. So Sami Zayn was backstage with Megan, talking about his match with Rick Boogs. And then we see Johnny Knoxville, and Knoxville wants to be included in the Rumble match. And Sami Zayn tells him, you haven't earned your dues. What have you done? Maybe if you listen to me or something, you could get into the match. So Sami kind of talks down on Knoxville, and that's that. Which leads to Sami Zayn against Rick Boogs. And look, this has been going on, and I know we spoke about this months ago, right? Months ago. And we spoke about this in the chat. It's been over a year. Where is this conspiracy theory Sami Zayn going? It's been over a year. Even Sami mentioned it tonight. He said it's been over a year. So what are we getting here? Is it like, are we actually going to get something out of it? Or is it just a never-ending conspiracy theory storyline? I have no clue. All right, let's take a look at the chat quickly. Daniel wants a fantasy book mania. We're going to have some time. Not tonight. We're going to do a separate video. We'll do a live fantasy book. And yeah, Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville now at WrestleMania. That appears to be the celebrity they're going to go with. They mentioned it at day one where they showed Johnny Knoxville talking about how he wants to be in the Rumble. And now tonight with Sami Zayn, they're going to do something at the Rumble where Zayn eliminates Knoxville or Knoxville eliminates Zayn, which is going to lead to a match at WrestleMania. And yeah, Gil's fans still waiting for that Sami Zayn documentary. I'm still waiting. I think everybody's still waiting. Sami Zayn is probably still waiting as well. So that led to Sami Zayn against Rick Boogs. Let's go back to the results. Here you are. And gets to the match. Look, Rick Boogs looked absolutely strong out there. I don't know what they're trying to do with him. Is he just gonna, are they just gonna keep him with Nakamura and that's that? Or are they actually gonna turn him heel at one point? Maybe have him turn on Nakamura, or have Nakamura lose the title, the Intercontinental title, and then you have him team up for the tag team titles. I don't know. But I like what they're doing with Boogs, but let's see if it leads anywhere. So after the match, out comes Johnny Knoxville, and he throws Sami over the top rope. Is it some foreshadowing? I don't know, but it could be for the Rumble. And after he throws Sami over the top rope, it's announced that Johnny Knoxville has qualified for the Royal Rumble. And we're going to take a look at the Rumble list when we get to it later tonight, just to see who has officially been named into the Rumble match. So let's take a look at the chat right here. There you go. So Gil's fan, considering Zayn doesn't really wrestle much, he may as well wrestle Johnny in a wrestling match, unfortunately. Yeah. Oh, all right. So Rick Boogs, Andrew writes, Boogs making a proper run in the Rumble, but not winning it would be good. Maybe have him eliminate a couple of guys, 4 or 5 guys. Could be interesting if they decide to do something with him later on. Another comment here. We go. So I wonder why Paul Heyman ran from Roman at the correct time before he got COVID and re-advocated with Brock as WWE champion. If it's true, I believe Brock would win Universal title as scripted. So I think it was just, I'm not going to say perfect timing, but I think they were going to do that regardless. They were probably going to have Heyman go with Lesnar, and then, Roman unfortunately got COVID, so they had to go with their plan probably earlier than they expected to. Gil's fan, right? Zayn deserves to win the Rumble just for that. Andrew, maybe if you throw someone out, you qualify for the Rumble. And oh my God, Gil's fan, why would you say this? I want Boogs and Elias as 1 and 2 in the Rumble. So what's going on with Elias? What's going on with him? Is he? I mean, fortunately for him, he still has a job with the company, but they killed him off well over a month ago. Literally killed well over a month ago. So we'll see. Oh, Daniel, this is a bold prediction right here. Brock would have beaten Roman had he stayed healthy. I'm convinced of that. I don't know what the original plan was for that. I don't know, and obviously we'll never know. But would we have had Brock get the win against Roman at day 1? Who knows? Who knows? But we'll have to wait and see. So going back to SmackDown, we get that. My thoughts, I mean, look, Johnny Knoxville winning Sami Zayn was a great little angle. This could be fun going into the Rumble. Keyword here, could be fun. Or keywords, rather. Could be fun. And then we had Kayla Braxton was backstage with the New Day, and they spoke about their match later tonight. Oh, this is a fun little segment right here, ladies and gentlemen. An absolutely fun little segment. But before we get to it, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to tune in on Monday. It's the Raw Post Show with Mike and Victoria Tedesco. So make sure to tune in. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Okay, taking a look at the chat. Yeah, and then they did that weird Undertaker gimmick and dropped it with Elias. Yeah, the less said about Elias, I guess, the better, even though kind of asked, where is he and what's going on with him. Gil's fan, I heard Vince hated that he looked like Randy Savage, so he scrapped his run. It's a ridiculous story, but it's Vince, so you never know. I have not heard that before. I haven't heard that theory before. Kind of trying to see. Does he look like, I mean, he has a beard. Savage never really had that beard that Elias has. Or maybe no, actually he did. They're both tanned. Elias is a bigger guy. I don't know. Look, this is a theory. It's Vince. I would believe it. I would believe it, especially if you consider the rumors that have been going on for 30 years regarding Savage and the McMahon family or a McMahon family member. We're not going to get into that. Okay. Up next, Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion. She walks down to the ring. She wishes everybody a Happy New Year. And her New Year's resolution was to create history. And then we see a video showing the women who will compete in the Women's Royal Rumble match. So before we get into that, I'm just going to have a little bit of water here. All right, let's get to it. Here we go. And by the way, we have a separate post up on Wrestleview. So if you guys missed it in the results, there's a separate post. So we see a video of the women who will compete in the Rumble match. So Rhea Ripley, Nikki ASH, the Bella Twins. So Nikki and Brie. Shotzi, who for whatever reason I thought was released. But hey, good to see her on there. I'm not trying to make fun. I really thought she got released. Natalia, Michelle McCool, Dana Brooke, Carmella, Queen Selena, Mickie James, and this is a hell of an interesting one right here. Mickie James, Impact Women's Champ, is on there. Mickie James, Tamina, Kelly is another one. Aaliyah, Summer Rae is back. Naomi, Shayna Baszler, and Lita. So we have 3-4 new faces, or sorry, returning faces. Taking a look, we got Nikki and Brie Bella, Michelle McCool, Mickie James, Kelly, Summer Rae, and Lita. So we got 6 names on there essentially that are coming back. And let's take a look at what everybody thinks in the chat. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, there you go, Andrew. So the Impact Women's Champion, and if Mickie still retains that Hard to Kill on Saturday night, she's going to be in the Rumble. And look, I mentioned this on Twitter. I think it's a win-win for everybody involved. I mean, for WWE, it's Mickie James, right? Everyone knows who she is. Great talent. For Impact, to have their women's champion on the show, that's something. And even if Mickie does somehow, Mickie loses her title, let's say, well, for Impact, still a former champ being on the show. So it's a win-win for all involved. Yeah, there you go, Andrew. Thank you for that. So Summer Rae, Kelly, Lita, and the Bellas. So I don't know if this is good or bad. We've spoken about this several times. Everybody at Wrestleview spoken about it. Twitter, Facebook, everybody, including their grandmother, spoke about this. Is there anyone left in the women's division? Right? And the last round of releases is something we spoke about. We said, well, who's going to be in the Rumble match, be it for the men or for the women? And if you take a look at the women, you have 5, 6 returning women. Who could win this legitimately if we really think about it? So Becky Lynch is champ. Charlotte Flair will also be involved. This is another thing as well. So she mentioned that she's going to be involved in the match. So Charlotte's involved as well. Do they book Charlotte where she wins and we have her against Becky Lynch at WrestleMania? Do we have that? Do we have someone else? Who's the other person? Like if we take a look, let's take a look right here. If we take a look, I remove this for a second. So could you go with Rhea Ripley potentially? If they decide to strap a rocket on Rhea Ripley and properly push her, you could have Rhea Ripley. Nikki is not happening. Please, no. Bella Twins not happening. Shotzi, maybe if they would have pushed her properly when she joined from NXT, but that's not happening. Natalya, forget about it. Michelle McCool, no. Dana Brooke, not happening. Carmella, maybe. Potentially, possibly Carmella. Queen Selena. I mean, look, they gave her the King of the Ring, and I'll be honest, I didn't think they'd give her that. Possibility. Mickie James, no. Tamina, Kelly, not happening. Aaliyah, I'll be surprised if 10% of the arena knows who Aaliyah is. Summer Rae, no. Naomi looks like she's gonna face off against Sonya Deville. Shayna Baszler and Lita. Lita not happening. Shayna is a possibility. So, we get this. Maybe Alexa Bliss. Let's take a look at the chat. I'm just talking a lot here. Let's take a look at the chat. Gil's fan, nothing says a lack of women on the roster more than the champions declaring for the Rumble match. Yeah. And the worst part, I don't know about the worst, but one of the things is, Charlotte could legitimately win this. Yeah. Hey, Randy. Hello, Randy. I thought she was gone as well, buddy. I really thought she was released, but I mean, good for her. She's not. She's avoided that yet. She's dodged it. Gil's fan, I'm not that bothered about them ruining the legend surprises in that match since it's the same women every year. Throw in a Trish Stratus, and it's literally every single year. Andrew, think Nikki and Brie want to make a run at the... Oh, God, no. Please, no. Please, no. No. I'm not even going to continue reading the sentence because I don't want to put this out in the universe. No. Please, no. Gil's fan, Mickey shocked me, though, considering the whole trash bag thing. Yeah, this is a surprise, right? This is a surprise. When she took to Twitter and posted about her outfit, right? Her belongings, which were returned to her in a trash can, in a bag. So this is, yeah. Did he? Oh, see, I missed this. Thank you, Gil's fan. This is why you guys are the best. Like, I missed something, you got me. I see something wrong, you guys correct me. You guys are the best. I missed this. I did not know that Pat mentioned Impact. I might have to go back and rewatch that. Andrew, I wonder if Deonna Purrazzo wins, if she would be in the Rumble. They need women. They got to fill that up. Would want to. See, I would think Becky. See, yeah, there you go. So because Charlotte declared herself to be in the Rumble, you would think Becky might do the same. Very much possibility. Flair humiliated Rhea and ruined her. Oh, God, yeah, I forgot about that. They've absolutely butchered Rhea Ripley, by the way. Sad to see. Just butchered. Naomi winning and overcoming Sonya Deville's meddling is a possibility. So if they put Naomi with Roman and the Usos, this could be very, very well planned out. Like, if they do this properly, they take the time, it could be great. Probably not going to happen. Great idea. Probably not going to happen. Oh, God. Becky versus Doudrop at the Rumble. Wildcard is Bliss, and Bliss is returning on Raw on Monday. But which Bliss are we going to get? Are we going to get the weird Fiend Bliss? Are we going to get the happy Bliss? Are we going to get a heel Bliss? Do they even know yet? Haven't they decided? Probably not. Probably not. Bailey. See, yeah, this is fun. So very good question, Quentin, because I actually thought about this a couple of days ago and just slipped my mind right now. Bailey, right? Bailey set to return. I mean, if we go back the 9 months or so, she's supposed to return around now, around Rumble time. So if they keep her a secret, ooh, that could be cool. That could be cool. That's not a bad idea. I say Bliss win. So all right, so we got Gil's fans saying Bliss, Randy. Do they rocket an NXT talent? Maybe Raquel Gonzalez. I mean, they could, but that would mean that Vince has to know she exists, and then that would also mean Vince doesn't decide to fire her. It is a possibility, though. It is a possibility. Andrew, so I specifically remember doing the math very quickly when she got injured, and they said that she could be out for about 9 months. And I remember doing quickly, just calculating in my head, and I remember thinking, oh, 9 months is about Rumble time. Could be that. Could be for the Rumble. Or, yeah, Gonzalez could be it as well. Gil's fan, the women's segments on SmackDown were so much better when Bailey was in the title picture. And this could be why, or not this could be, but, you know, having Bailey completely off television could be them preparing to have her return at the Rumble. Because when she first got injured, if I'm not mistaken, they still had that ding-dong hello, right? They haven't mentioned her. They haven't shown her. They haven't spoken about her at all in months. This could be Bailey's time to shine. Could be. All right. Going back to this really, really quickly. Outcomes. There you go. So Charlotte's in the ring. Out comes Naomi. Slaps Charlotte. This leads to a match. And the match, you know, a couple of times, Naomi looks like she's about to win. First time is by count out. Out comes Sonya and says, oh, you know, I apologize. I forgot to mention that you can't win by count out. And then rope break and this and that. And then ultimately, you can only win by pinfall or submission. Charlotte ends up getting the win. And this prolongs the whole Sonya versus Naomi feud. And this was quite a long match. This was a pretty long match. But a good match. All right. Here we go. So then we get Happy Talk with Baron Corbin. So I'm going to wait on this, and I'm just going to ask you guys a question. How does everybody feel about this Happy Corbin, Happy Baron Corbin? Leave your comments. I'm going to read a couple of them out, and I'll give you guys my opinion. Oh, there you go. So as you guys are giving me your comments on that, Andrew writes, Raquel is with Adam Shear, Braun Strowman, right? So Vince might realize that and never know what he does. That's very true. All right, Gil's fan, I miss bum-ass Corbin. See, that was a fun one. See, that bum Baron Corbin, I remember when it first started, and me not necessarily being against it, but just kind of thinking, well, what are they doing with this? You know, where are they going with this Corbin? But that was fun. That ended up being a lot of fun. Andrew, annoying jerks, but it works because they make you hate them, right? And that's kind of how I feel about them. So this is kind of how I feel about Baron Corbin or Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss, in the sense that they're so annoying, but it's a good annoying, right? It's the annoying of, well, they're heels. I'm supposed to not like them, so this makes sense. It's not like a hatred level. This is just a, not a fan of them level. Andrew, yes, and Pat hates on them all the time. Quentin, I can't stand the Happy Corbin character. The bum Corbin was better. I fully agree. That bum Baron Corbin, that was hilarious. But you know, it's creative, and they had to do something with them. So what are you gonna do? Toss the Moss though. Ouch. Gil's fan, you just know Vince laughing his head off at these segments. He's probably the one that wrote them. So anyways, let's get back to the show. we get back to this. So Madcap Moss, dressed up as Drew McIntyre, speaks in a very bad Scottish accent. Obviously, so he's dressed up as Corbin and finally reveals himself to be Madcap Moss. Out come the Viking Raiders. They have a match. Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss get the win. Not a bad match, but just never really got going. I felt like it, although that might be because I'm not the biggest Viking Raiders fan. Could be just me. Sheamus is backstage. All right, this is where things get a little bit interesting, and we get to talk about the men's Royal Rumble match. So Sheamus announces that he will be part of the men's Royal Rumble match. And let's take a look at the list so far. It's not a very big list. Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, Austin Theory, Street Profits, Sheamus, Johnny Knoxville. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 male superstars announced for the Royal Rumble match, and not really, what's the word I'm looking for? Not really that excited, right? There's no one that makes me say, oh, I want to watch it. Like, that guy's in it. I want to watch it. No one so far. And it's not even the fact that no one so far. It's the fact that I don't think there's anyone that could really get me excited for the Rumble in terms of who's going to win it. I love the Rumble. I love the Rumble match. No matter what, I always end up watching it. It's probably my favorite match of the year. I love the Rumble. I'm excited for the Rumble because it's the Rumble. But there's no one that makes me think, oh, okay, I want to see this guy in the Rumble. You know? Like, I remember all those years ago thinking, I say all those years, probably 19 years ago now, like, I wonder if The Undertaker's ever going to win a Rumble. Kane dominated like 2 years ago. I wonder what he's going to do this time. Or Brock Lesnar, holy shit, right? He's going to be in the Rumble. Or like two years ago now, where it was Drew McIntyre. Like, who's that guy this year? Because if it's Austin Theory, this is not good. If it's Austin Theory, it's not good. And so last comment quickly on the Viking Raiders by Gil's fan. He says, the entrance is too much. They're trying to force people to do the whole raid thing. It's not working. It's not working. Gil's fan, Dom and Ray have been teasing a split for months now. And Andrew writes, hope Dominic and Ray get into it at the Rumble. That'd be cool. And this is exactly it, Andrew. Like, no one makes me excited to watch this Rumble. No one at all. And who's going to win it? AJ Styles? Austin Theory? Seth is probably not going to be in it. He's facing Roman Reigns. No one. Randy, my honest excitement for the Rumble is hoping to see champ. See, I feel like they would completely ruin him. I feel like he would be the next Cesaro. And I'm saying this as a Cesaro fan. I like Cesaro, but if Thomas makes it onto the main roster, I think they turn him into the next Cesaro. Just great in the ring, but that's it. They're not going to do much with him. Gil's fan, here we go. Long shot. Brock beats Lashley non-clean, and then Lashley wins the Rumble. That would be very interesting. That would be cool. That'd be interesting. I'd like that. Andrew, don't have any legends that can really go. Be a surprise. Maybe Booker, DDP, but that's about it. And Goldberg has too darn much. Oh, God. Yeah, Goldberg in the Rumble. I hope not. Quentin, I'm excited for the Rumble, but so far this year's Rumble match is beyond. But this is exactly it. That's exactly it, Quentin. Because I feel the same thing. Just so far, it's Gil's fan of Ciampa has been released. Gil's Goldberg won last match. Ciampa said doesn't want to be on the main roster. Said he should just retire as well. So it might not be the former NXT champion. Could we get the NXT champion? Could we get, after all these years, another Steiner in the Royal Rumble? Could we get that? Now that would be something if we get another Steiner. Hell, get Big Papa Pump himself. Get Scott Steiner. Get Uncle Scotty. Get the Steiner. Get him in there. Get the Steiner brothers. I mean, Rick Steiner's there. Just get him in there. Get him in there. Get the Steiners. That would get me excited. If you could tell me, if someone tells me, hey, we're getting Scott or Rick, or we're getting a Steiner in the Rumble, then I'm excited. Yes, Braun Breaker, exactly. He's a Steiner to me. They could call him whatever they want. He's a Steiner to me. That's period. That's for me. I mean, Walter. See, a lot of people have been talking about Walter for several months now. I don't think, from what I remember hearing or reading, he doesn't want to come over to North America. I mean, maybe a one-off match for the Rumble, but I don't think he wants to be in North America. I think he just wants to stay in the UK. You can't really say you blame him. Walter, there you go, Andrew. Walter would be cool. It was nice to see Rick celebrating with him on NXT. Yes, nice to see a little Steiner reunion. Great tag team, by the way. So underrated. God, were they good. Steiner brothers were fucking good. But anyways, let's continue. Where were we at? Here we go. So these are the people in the Rumble. Like I said, no one really so far that interesting. So far. So Roman Reigns backstage. In comes Adam Pearce, tells him, hey, I know who you're going to face. I know who your next challenger is. Roman says, I don't care. I've beaten everybody. If it's not you, I don't care. All right. We're still going to find out who it is later on, though. And this leads us to the main event of the evening. SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. The Usos defend the titles against, I was going to say the Street Profits, my word. The Usos defend the title against the New Day in a street fight. We've gotten every single type of match involving these guys. And they always deliver. It's always a great match. But there's only so many times you could have the Usos against the New Day on television. Or a pay-per-view. Or a premium live event. What the hell is a premium live event? I get it's a pay-per-view. It's on the network, so you're not technically paying per the view, but come on. Premium live event. All right. So let's take a look at the chat. Walter is the one guy Vince hasn't ruined. I dread how it's going to go. It's going to be bad. It's not going to be good. Gil's fan. Oh, there you go. So apparently Walter's more open to moving because he's not with his wife anymore. He has said next week is his last NXT UK match. So there you go. So thank you for that. I missed that one. All right. Who's left to face the Usos now? Nakamura and Boogs is one. Corbin, Madcap Moss. I don't know. Andrew honestly was pushing Rollins Owens against RK Bro at Mania. That could still happen. That could definitely still happen. Randy Walter versus Little Steiner in NXT could be a lot of fun. Ooh, yeah. That would be fun. That would be very fun. And Quentin, not a fan of RK Bro. All right. Let's go back to the show really, really quickly. So this was the match, hard-hitting match. We got a table spot. We got a couple of super kicks at the end. The Usos retain. That's great. And then Seth Rollins shows up. So the Roman's backstage, knock on the door. Who is it? Roman looks. Oh, okay. He stands up. In comes Seth. They look at each other. Seth laughs. And that's SmackDown. So we're getting Seth versus Roman at the Rumble. And Brian, welcome, Brian. Brian says, I needed more Seth dancing. Yeah. Gil's fan. So yes, this is it. Yeah. And I'll be honest, when Lesnar said title versus title, champ versus champ, but specifically title versus title. That got me excited. And hey, maybe they're gonna unify the belts. Maybe they're gonna do something. So we're getting this. Seth versus Rollins. Look, it's interesting because of the history between these two. It's interesting because they've both completely moved away from the Shield. It's been several years now. And this whole Seth character is interesting, especially with how this Roman character is. I don't know if it's the right time. I think having this build for WrestleMania, if Lesnar was not involved, I think building this WrestleMania would have been better. I think doing this after WrestleMania would have been better. I just always think that whatever they do from the Rumble to WrestleMania, I know it's WrestleMania season, don't get me wrong, but because we know, or at least have an idea, that it's not Seth versus Roman at WrestleMania, why should I care about Seth versus Roman at the Rumble? Because Roman's not losing that belt right before WrestleMania. That's not happening. So why should I be invested in Seth versus Roman at the Rumble? That's my question. Why? So I'm all for Seth versus Roman, just not at the Rumble. That's where I stand. Let's take a look at the chat. I wonder if Owens shows up on SmackDown. Because of Seth, it's a possibility. I hope not. I think Owens and I like Owens a lot, but Owens on SmackDown, just keep him on Raw for now. Really, just keep him on Raw for now. Let's take a look. What else? This is another one. They went through the entire roster. It's been a year and a half that Roman's been champ. They've blitzed through everybody. And we know, for the most part, how WWE likes to treat their baby faces. Not very good. Not very good. Let's see. Yeah. Roman wanting to face Rock at WrestleMania in Hollywood next year. It's still a year and 2-3 months away. They could afford to have Roman lose the title at one point and have him win it back. We'll see. Perhaps this is a heel versus heel to test to see how much Roman would be cheered if he was a face again. I think enough people would cheer Roman Reigns if he was face. I think a lot of people like this Roman Reigns character. The heel part aspect is natural. It wasn't like before, I'm talking 2-3 years ago before, where it was obvious they were trying to push Roman, obvious trying to make him a baby face or whatever. This one feels natural. It feels good. I think this is why people are gravitating towards Roman and like him. I think. Gil's fan. The only smart face they had was Kevin Owens, but of course they had to turn him heel. Brian, it's like 40-60 cheer boo right now. And Andrew, I'm wondering if the staying on separate shows lasts long or if people just start wandering onto both shows. I think we're going to start getting that a little bit more. I think especially with WrestleMania coming up in about 2-3 months, I think we're going to be getting that a lot more. A lot more. And you can't blame them. Or actually, you could blame them because this brand split is not very good. But what are we going to do about that? Hey, it's the wild card. It's the wild card. Exactly, Gilsman. But for the most part, I thought this was a good SmackDown, built up for the Rumble. We're still about 3 weeks away. I think just under 3 weeks away from the Rumble. So I think it's gonna be a good show. We still got about 3 more SmackDowns before. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be booking Rumble winners kind of as of next week. Yes, we're gonna be back next week. And yeah, so I thought this was a good SmackDown. Let me know what everybody think about this SmackDown. We discussed a lot. We discussed the show. We discussed the Rumble matches, Roman, Lesnar, Lashley, everything. So let me know what you guys think of SmackDown. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought they did a good job, but next week will give us a better indication of what angles we're going to get going into the Rumble. You know, in regards to the women, what's going to happen with Charlotte Flair? Is she just going to do nothing until the Rumble? You know, hey, she's in the match. What's going to happen with that? Andrew, SmackDown's pretty good. Having the show back is good. Thank you, Andrew. It means a lot. It really does. And it's good to be back. Good to be back. Gil's fan, I was disappointed with the lack of Kayla interviewing Heyman and no confused Adam Pearce on his phone. Thumbs down. Yeah, Kayla interviewing Heyman or Kayla sneaking up on Heyman has kind of been the highlight of SmackDown for the past couple of weeks. Not because SmackDown's been a bad show, just because those segments have been very, very fun to watch. Gil's fan, thumbs up to the post show. It's great to be back. Yes, thank you, Gil's fan. And it's good to be back. Good to be talking with everybody. And we're going to be back next week. I may not be alone next week. See how things go. May not be alone, but we will be back next week. So there you go, Quentin. That's all that matters, right? This was a good SmackDown. Left me wanting more. If it leaves you wanting more, it means it's a good show and something was right. Brian, I love the Roman Brock Heyman dynamic. I love McAfee doing the Shinsuke guitar riff. Please no more New Day versus Usos. And welcome back. I agree with all of that, actually. I love the dynamic between those three guys. McAfee's always a pleasure to listen to and watch. New Day versus Usos had enough, and it's good to be back as well. Quentin, triple thumbs up. Brian, yes, she's not on the show. She's not on the show. That's all we're going to do about that. Randy, SmackDown was good. McAfee is fun as the over-the-top, stereotypical wrestling announcer, and we've missed that, to be honest. We haven't had that character, someone play that character so well in so long. Yes, Andrew. Yes. Finally. And Gil's fan really went the whole show without mentioning her. I did not. Did I mention her by name? God, I hope not. Did I mention her by name? Probably. But hey, thumbs up for that alone, right? And thumbs up to everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're back on Mondays with Mike and Victoria Tedesco on the Post Raw SmackDown Post Show, the main event on Wrestleview. Yes. And Brian, yeah. So at one point, I don't know. I'm gonna leave you guys up with this. McAfee was just in awe of Lesnar. He said, "I'm looking at this Brock thing, right? Because he's so huge. Like I'm looking at this Brock thing." So he puts over Brock very, very well. Very, very well. And it was the chat's fault, Gills fan. That's why we mentioned it. It was the chat's fault. Yes, absolutely. But that was it. This is it for tonight. We're back on Mondays, Post Raw. Mike and Victoria Tedesco on the live Post Raw show. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. My name is Roy Nemer of Wrestleview.com. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Great to be back. And great to have you all back. And we're back on Monday. Take care, everybody. Be safe.